Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Shatin Sawati is here. And welcome to Bioscience with Shatin Sawati. And today I am with a new lecture from my vertebrate series. And this lecture will be about the second class of phylum Caudata, which is amphibian, means the frog family. I will discuss here in detail. So before starting my lecture, I have a very humble request to all of you. Kindly promote my channel, subscribe my channel, and like my videos, share my videos. Sharing lectures means you are sharing the knowledge. So keep watching, keep sharing knowledge with other. Now I'm going to start my lecture, and I will discuss about the second class. You can see the amphibians. I have discussed in detail about the Pisces in my previous lecture. So today I will discuss amphibians. What are amphibians? Where they live? What does the word amphibians mean? What is the classification? And many more. I will discuss taxonomic position, then I will discuss the characteristics, then body system, and at last I will discuss types or classes of the amphibians. Now, amphibian taxonomic position. Amphibians belong to the kingdom Animalia, as we know that, phylum Chordata, and the class is amphibians. Why they are called amphibians? Amphibian, the word derived from the two word amphi means both. Bien, bio means life. So amphi derived from the word amphibian, amphi and bio. So beings, life and amphi both, because these animals possess both type of life. They live in water as well as in land. They go to water for the fertilization purposes. They lay eggs there and their early life complete there. So that's why they possess both type of life, land as well as water. So that's why they are known as amphibians. Is it clear? Now, as I have discussed that amphibians live both on land and in water. They are ectothermic animals found in warm environment. They are ectothermic. Means they can maintain their body temperature according to their environment. So their body is divided into head and trunk. Tail may or may not be present. In some classes you will see the tail, and in some classes you will not see the tail. In some classes tail is present only in the tadpole stage, early larval stage, and when they become adult the tail disappear. Now the skin is smooth and rough without any scales. Like you see in Pisces in fishes, the body is covered with scales, but amphibians body is without any scale, but with uh, glands that make it moist. But they have smooth, slippery skin, and this skin is provided with glands, and these glands produces secretion which keep their skin moist. And their skin play a very important role in respiration. I will discuss it later on. They have no paired fins. Unpaired fins might be present, as in case of the larval stages. When they are in larval stages, they have fins, but in adult cases they don't have as such. They have two pairs of limbs for locomotion. Both pairs means forelimbs and hind limbs. They respire through the lungs and skin. Their skin perform the function of respiration because it is moist and richly supplied with blood capillaries. Gills are also present in most cases, like in cases of the at the stage of what at the stage of larva. When they are in larval stage, they have gills. And in some cases, gills are present in adult stage. And the very important thing, the heart is three-chambered. Now you can see the advancement. In Pisces, the heart was two-chambered. You, you see that the heart is two-chambered, but in case of the amphibians, now the heart is three-chambered. Means I will show you, I will explain it. In circulatory system, heart consists of two auricle and one ventricle. Now, the kidneys are mesonephric. What does the word mesonephric means? Mesonephric is used for the primitive type of kidneys. So the word is used mesonephric. The excretory material includes ammonia and urea and uric acid too. They possess 10 pairs of cranial nerves. This characteristic is similar to the Pisces. Pisces also have 10 pairs of cranial nerves. The lateral line is present. As in Pisces, you see the lateral line is present. And what is lateral line? Most of the students ask me that what is lateral line? Lateral line is related to the sense organ. This is related to the sense organ which is present along the body. So the lateral line is what? That is used for the sense organs and is present during their development. The sexes are separate and fertilization is usually external. However, in salamanders, in some types, in subclasses of the amphibians, they have internal fertilization. Development is indirect. Indirect means with metamorphosis, and I will show you. Metamorphosis. Now, breeding occur in water. As I have told you that they live in water as well as on land. They usually go to water for fertilization purposes. The copulatory organs are absent in males. For example, frog, salamander, and I will discuss all these types one by one. Now this is the overall system of the amphibians, and this is basically the figure from the frog systems, and you can see here this portion is the digestive system, which I will discuss in detail, and these are the kidneys, these are the fat bodies. You can see here liver, gallbladder, lungs. Each and every system is present here, and the cloaca and all these. These systems, these body systems I will discuss one by one. Is it clear now? Now I'm starting the body systems. First of all, I will discuss the digestive system. The digestive system, the digestive tract or alimentary canal includes a mouth, esophagus, you can see here, mouth, esophagus, stomach and intestine. And also at the end they have cloaca. The cloaca is shared by the digestive excretory. Must keep it in your mind. Their cloaca is very important, play a very important role because it shared digestive, excretory and reproductive functions. Is it clear? Excretion takes place to this cloaca. Digestive material means waste material pass through this, and also it is a reproductive organ. Is it clear? And I will discuss it later on. So you can see here, this is the esophagus. You know that mouth into buccal cavity into pharynx, and then esophagus and liver, and then stomach, and then intestine. More or less, the digestive system is similar to the human system. You can see. Okay. Now I'm going to discuss its respiratory system. Respiratory system of the amphibians, they possess They have gills at the early stages, means at the larval stages they have gills. When they live in water, they use their gills for respiration. And when they move towards the land, when they become adult, they use lungs as well as their skin. As you can see in this diagram, the skin, the lungs, they use even the lining of the mouth, nostrils, all these parts are used for respiration. Their lungs, their skin, and their skin is smooth and richly supplied with blood capillaries, resemble the respiratory surface, the skin resemble the lungs. That's why the exchange of the oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place easily through skin as in the lungs. Is it clear? Now, and they use their skin when they in the hibernation period or aestivation periods, means summer sleep and winter sleep. When they underground, they use mostly their skin, because skin is in touch with the carbon dioxide and oxygen, easily exchange takes place. Okay, now you can see here the lungs, balloon shaped right and left lungs, pulmonary artery, they have trachea, you can see here. Okay, now I'm moving towards the circulatory system. That is very important. All the systems are very important for the survival. So amphibians have two circulatory routes. Like in Pisces, you see that just one circuit is present from the body towards the heart, and from heart to the gills, and from the gills to all parts of the body. Just one circuit in case of the Pisces. But in case of the amphibians, you can see here the two circulatory routes. One for oxygenated blood and the other for deoxygenated blood. And you can see here the deoxygenated blood from all parts of the body move towards the right atrium, right auricle, and from the right atrium blood move to the ventricle. And you can see here the ventricle, just one ventricle is present, but little bit septum is present here for the separation. Now what will happen? The blood from the right atrium move towards the the ventricle, just one ventricle, no right and left concept here like in the human, just one ventricle, and that from that one ventricle blood move to the lungs for respiration, and you people know that the blood from the ventricle move through the pulmonary artery, the only one artery that carry the deoxygenated blood. When the blood move to the lungs, and as we know that the respiration in case of the amphibians takes place through the skin too. So then it move in case of the heart circulation. What will happen? The blood from the ventricle move towards the lungs for oxygenation, and then from the lungs back to that left atrium, and then move to all parts of the body. Is it clear? You can see here the aorta, which carry the blood from the left ventricle or left atrium to all parts of the body. So this is the two circulatory routes are two-way circuit. Is it clear? Just how many parts, how many chambers of the heart? 3 chambers. 2 atrium, 1 ventricle. Is it clear now? Okay. Now the excretory system. Amphibians have 2 kidneys, just like the humans. And those kidney filter, we know that the function of the kidney is the filter of the blood. So it filters the blood here, and urine leave the body through the cloaca. As I have discussed that the cloaca is that organ which share the digestive, excretory as well as reproductive functions. Okay, when the bladder is full. Now the nitrogenous phase can take one of three forms, like the waste material is present in the form of ammonia, uric acid, and urea. Is it clear? You can see here, these are the two kidneys. And from the kidneys, urinogenital duct arises. Why it is called urinogenital duct? Urino-genital duct means the urino for urine, genital for the passage of the sperms in case of the male. Okay, so what will happen? This is a urinary because it passes the genital material as well as the urine. So that's why it has dual function. This urinogenital duct has dual function. So that's why that is known as urinogenital duct. Is it clear? Now I'm moving towards the nervous system. Amphibians, basically the nervous system is developed. As you see in the Pisces, the nervous system is advanced than the invertebrates. And in this case, you can see here the central nervous system as well as peripheral nervous system, both present. But must keep it in your mind, it is less well developed than the reptiles, birds, and mammals. In case of the Pisces, in case of the amphibians, nervous system is not much developed as in reptiles, birds, and mammals. So the central nervous system and the peripheral central nervous system consists of the brain and spinal cord, and you can see all the cerebellum, optic lobes, and many more. Is it clear? Okay. Now the reproductive system. Amphibians reproduce by laying egg. They do not have a soft skin and not a hard shell. Most females lay egg in the water because I have told you that these organisms live in water as well as on land. And in water, they go for fertilization purposes. So male produces sperms and the female lay the egg in the water, and both sperm and egg fuse in the water and produces zygote that develop into the larva tadpole that live in water and uses the gills for respiration and finding food as a fish too. As the tadpole grow, they develop legs and lungs and each and every system when it become adult. Okay. Now you can see here the testes as well as the ovaries. In testes present the male, ovaries present the female. In female you can see the ovaries, and from the ovaries oviduct arises. You can see here. So this is what the female reproductive system, in which you can see each and every part. Urinary tract, opening of the oviduct, and many more. And is in this case the urinary tract, which is urinogenital duct, which carries sperm as well as the urine. So these are the testes which are present on the kidney. Is it clear? This is the male reproductive system. This is the female. Male reproductive system consists of the testes, and the female reproductive system consists of the ovaries. And in ovaries egg is produced, and in testes sperm is produced. Okay. Now, as I have discussed that amphibians undergo metamorphosis. Meta change, morpha, forms and structure. These organisms change their shape at each and every step of the development. As you can see, the egg fuses with the sperm and produces the zygote, and then that zygote develops into the embryo, and then that embryo develops into the tadpole. And we know that the tadpole possesses gills and eat like fish and many more. Now you can see here this tadpole develop eggs, and with the passage of time, what will happen? The tail of the tadpole disappear, and when it become the adult, the tail totally disappear, and the tadpole now become the adult with forelimbs and hind limbs. Is it clear? This is the adult frog. No tail, just possesses the forelimbs and hind limbs for jumping, for moving, and for many more, for capturing the food and many more. So these are the metamorphosis stages. You can see that at each and every step, this is the frog, and this is the case in all amphibians, that what will happen? The first tadpole, then tadpole grow and become the adult, and all the features which are present in the larval stage become disappear at the adult stage. So this is what metamorphosis. Okay ji. Now classification of amphibians. There are basically 3 classes of amphibians. Number 1, Apoda. They are also known as Fiona or Sicilia. Commonly known as Sicilia or Apoda. Most of the people familiar with Sicilia and Apoda. And but sometime Fiona is also used. This is the old name. Urodela. That is known as Caudata. Why it is called Caudata, why it is called Urodela, why it is called Apoda, I will tell you. And Neura, Silentia. It is also known as Silentia. And Neura is also known as Silentia. So first, I am going to discuss the Apoda, which is also known as Sicilia. And Apoda means A without. Pods, the word pod is used for appendages, mean legs, forelimbs and hind limbs. So they don't have fore and hind limbs, are without legs. That's why they are known as Apoda. These are limbless organisms with scales on their body. And you can see here in the figure Apoda. Is it clear? Now, they are also known as blind worms. They are also known as blind worms because what will happen? Their eyes are covered by the skin or bone. Third one, the tentacles on their head are the chemosensory organs. They use these tentacles for the detection of the food and many more. That help them to detect the underground prey. Is it clear? Now, they possess venom glands too. Must keep in mind, they possess venom glands. So, the last point, they secrete mucus to reduce water loss. They secrete mucus, moist body, because amphibians have moist body. So these are all the characteristics of Apoda, and muscipitaria, they have venom glands. So be careful about the collection. If you are collecting the Sicilia, you must keep it in mind they have venom glands. Okay. Urodela, Caudata. Why they are Caudata? Because they have tail. They have tail, and that's why they are known as Caudata. The body is elongated with 4 equally sized limbs. They have a tail, that's why they are Caudata, and they have forelimbs and hind limbs. You can see here, this is the salamander family. The skin is smooth with poisonous glands. Okay. Fertilization is internal. They feed on insects and worms. They are found under leaf litter in the soil or in the water, because amphibians live on the land as well as on water. So in the southern USA, they reproduce primarily in winter. They reproduce in winter, masculine. Very little difference between the male and the female. Spermatophores are utilized for internal fertilization. They use the spermatophore. The spermatophore. Now, what is spermatophore? Spermatophore is the you can say the duct-like, tube-like structure which is used for the internal fertilization. They do internal. Mostly, you see that amphibians do the external fertilization. They don't need spermatophores or any other organ for that. So they possess spermatophore. Okay, next one is the Neura, Silentia. There are around 3,500 species. How many? 400 species of Neura. They have 4 limbs. The front limbs are elongated and modified to jump. So this is Neura is a frog family, and you people observe frogs anywhere around you, especially in the rainy season. The head and trunk are fused together. You can see here, this is the head portion, this is the trunk portion. Both are fused. There is no neck portion present here. Okay. The tail is present only in the larval stage and is lost in the adult. Yes, I have discussed that. In the larval stage, they have tail, but with the, during metamorphosis, the tail removed or tail disappear. Tail disappear. Fertilization is external and the eggs are laid in water. And this is the familiar, you people are familiar with the Neura family, means the frog family. I hope so. The lecture will be clear upon you people. If you have any question, I have tried my best to clear all the concept about the amphibians and pisces and invertebrates all. So if you have any question, you can ask me and I will try my best to solve your problems. So thank you very much, and I will be back with a new class reptilia, inshallah, a reptile, a reptilia in my next lecture. So Allah Hafiz.